What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, and I'm back at y'all with another one. So, people keep asking me about a post that Terence Crawford put up where Terence Crawford said, "Stop playing with me. I'm really him. Y'all don't want to push my buttons." Something to that magnitude, hinting at what could be a possible comeback, right? And y'all don't want to find out I'm really him, something of that magnitude, right? And people like, man, see, Terence Crawford to come back. He talking about there's no amount of money to come back. He'll come back. For an astronomical amount of money, anybody will come back, right? Like, especially Terence Crawford in his position. Terence Crawford stays in shape, right? Terence Crawford is not somebody who, has to get ready. Now, obviously, is he in fighting shape? He got to go to training camp, etc., etc. But Terence Crawford is somebody who, like Floyd Mayweather, they always ready, man. They always ready. They take their craft very serious. They're very competitive. They always ready. You hear stories of Michael Jordan in retirement coming out and going to practices and playing pickup basketball and still dominating, right? Not to the level that he's, when he was in complete basketball shape, but he's still dominating because he never allows himself to get fully out of shape. And that's the same situation with Terence Crawford, man. But do I believe Terence Crawford is coming back? Nah. I don't see an avenue in which it's necessary for Terence Crawford to come back, in my personal opinion. For what? Who's he gonna fight? Who's he gonna fight? You know what I'm saying? Like, who's he gonna fight? He dominated Canelo Alvarez. People that don't like Terence Crawford tried to make it seem as if the fight was close, right? You got UFC fighters like Conor, Benn saying that His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh and Dana White offered Terence Crawford a massive amount of money to do a 1-on-1, right? One fight in the boxing ring, one fight in the UFC. Conor Benn is talking about Terence Crawford is a world-class wrestler, so he should be able to come into the UFC and compete. I'm sure Terence Crawford could compete in the UFC. I'm somebody that actually believes that Terence Crawford's skill set would allow him to compete in the UFC because he is a world-class wrestler, and he's obviously out of this world striker. So I think Terence Crawford could have success in the UFC. Conor Benn ain't the best wrestler in the world. He's a striker. But the difference is the kicking, right? And the submission. Right? Terence Crawford knows how to submit too. You understand? But that's just not his discipline. So you got UFC fighters calling out Terence Crawford, and there's so much money that could be made if Terence Crawford did concede and agree. Right? But it's just not necessary. I think that Terence Crawford's mindset is he don't live this lavish lifestyle where he gotta, sell himself to continue to make money to live, to fund his lifestyle. He's just not that type of person. You don't see him with a bunch of jewelry, fancy cars, and he don't live that life. He lives an ordinary life, right? Like Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett is somebody who, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is like a mentor to Terence Crawford. We all know who Warren Buffett is. We all know who Warren Buffett is and what he's about, right? And Warren Buffett, you see how he lived his lifestyle, still eating at McDonald's, still driving an old Cadillac. And Warren Buffett is a billionaire 10 times over, right? So, again, and they both from Omaha. So you can see, Terence Crawford just is a country boy, lives chilling with his children, traveling. I don't see a world in which he come back. So Conor Benn trying to provoke him, trying to get him to come back. He's saying that, he said to Terence Crawford, what are you saying? You can wrestle, yet you are afraid of the MMA. That to me is pitiful. The kid is he said the kid was beaten in an MMA fight, of which you don't have the courage to do. So he's talking about Terence Crawford. Then Terence Crawford told him to be quiet. He's drunk, X, Y, and Z, so on and so forth, so on and so forth, right? Again, man, like I said, man, I don't see, there's no match. There's no match for boxers in the ring for Terence Crawford, let alone MMA fighters. Now, Terence Crawford can make a lot of money with these MMA fighters in boxing, but why would he go in the UFC and risk that? For what? That's not his discipline. Like you said, they the ones begging the boxers to give them an opportunity because they don't make the money that the boxers make. They envious of the boxers. And they have a sense of entitlement, right? Where they feel like, we are superior, man. Ours translate into the streets. Boxers don't. Man, boxing translates into the streets just as well. Now the UFC, there's more people in regular everyday life, civilian life that, they don't know how to defend themselves. So of course it gets sloppy. They go to the ground and they want to grab you. That's the first instinct, right? Throw a punch and grab you and get close, right? That's the first instinct of people that don't know how to fight, right? So yeah, in the streets, you're kicking, you're wrestling, you're grappling. Yeah, that's going to translate into everyday life. Boxing ain't. Boxing is going to tell a whole story. I watched the UFC fight, and I'm not taking anything away from it. I watched the UFC fight a few weeks ago. The whole fight was spent on the ground, rolling around, grappling, trying to get leverage to get submissions. The whole entire fight. Right? Boxing is going to fatigue make cowards of us all. You can get tired in MMA, go to the ground. You can see them looking up at the clock. They holding the person's hand. Now, is it fatiguing to grapple a person? 1,000%. You just trying to squirm out. You trying to move around. You trying to get loose. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that takes a lot of energy. But you standing on your feet, and them gloves start to get heavy and fill up with water and sweat, and your arms is tired. And the only thing you can use is your hands and your arms. You can't resort to kicking and wrestling and submission. You can't resort to anything else but this. Oh, it's going to tell the truth about you. It's going to it's the ultimate truth teller. See, you get tired in the UFC, you can tie up, grab up, hold on. You know what I'm saying? You see them grab from behind and they looking up at the clock and they catch. You can find ways to catch your breath. Boxing, these get tired and you got to keep these up to defend yourself, right? You don't got to just use them to strike, but you got to keep them up to defend yourself, right? So the people don't realize the gloves start to fill up with water. I tell people this all the time. Take a pillow and fill it up with water and just keep it, just wet a pillow. That's what happens with gloves, because you start to sweat. They squirt in the water. It drips down into your gloves. You got the wraps on. The material is made out of foam or horsehair. It's like your pillow. You wet your pillow. You see how heavy your pillow get? Them gloves get heavy just like your pillows. So now you got to hold them up, as well as your arms are getting tired, your shoulders get tired, and this dude is punching your arms and your shoulders, and you got to protect your body, right? This is the ultimate truth teller. Two different disciplines. But again, man, I don't see a need for Terence Crawford. I don't see a fight in boxing that makes sense. He dominated Canelo Alvarez. And what's the point in Terence Crawford going to UFC? To prove what? That's not his discipline. It's not what he can wrestle. and he could strike, but that's not his discipline. So what, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel the same way when UFC fighters go into boxing. Like, when a boxer beat a UFC fighter, like, what was proven? Nothing. I see nothing, absolutely nothing was proven. Because you did what you were supposed to. This is not his discipline. This is not what he does. Period. So you did what you were supposed to do. But, man, let me know what y'all think, man. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. It's your boy Blue signing off. I'm gone. Peace.